morning, everybody. It's Evan here with Adventure.Happy. It's Saturday of the third weekend of May 2015. We stayed at 2 Jack Lake last night in Banff National Park here in Alberta. So this is the lake. This is looking like it's going to be just an incredible day. It's like so still right now. It's about 8:30 in the morning. We're just getting set up, getting everything packed up. We're nice as this spot is, we're leaving. We're gonna head in and do a backcountry camp at the back of Lake Minnewanka today. So, yeah, just wanted to show you guys where we stayed last night before we took off. We're looking at doing probably about 24 kilometers. This nice backcountry camp spot set up there. We've got one reserved for us. So, yeah, we'll go to the camp spot. And we'll head up to Aylmer Lookout, which is up sort of in behind it. Maybe even get up to Aylmer Pass, but I'll tell you more about that as we're going. But yeah, should make for a pretty amazing day. It's perfect weather for it. Looks like it's going to be about 20 degrees and sunny all day. So we are super excited to get going. Over here is our camp spot. That tent there is our friends Brian and Lisa. They were here as well last night. They're still sleeping, so we're trying to be quiet while we're making our coffee and breakfast for this morning. So, all right, guys, talk to you soon. All right, we're on our way. So you can see the beautiful Lake Minnewanka in behind us. We're just leaving passing through the picnic area right now. So we're on the Lake Minnewanka Trail right now. So it runs around the north side of the lake, all the way really up to the Three Ghost Lakes, which are sort of at the eastern end. We're not going that far. We're going about a third of the way. There's a couple of backcountry campsites along the way, so we're gonna stop. We're gonna set up camp there, and then we're gonna grab some lighter packs, and we're gonna head up to Aylmer Lookout, and maybe even Aylmer Pass. We'll see how we're feeling. So definitely got about the ideal weather for it today. I mean, it is gorgeous. It's about probably 17, 18 degrees right now. It's sunny, and it's only 10 o'clock in the morning, so it's going to be a hot one. We should be able to get you some pretty amazing views of Lake Minnewanka as we go along here. Should be a good day. Yeah, so
hey, official trailhead.
And there's the official trailhead coming up here. So it's about 9 kilometers from here to our campsite. And then, so we're gonna have to backtrack a little bit to get up to the turnoff for Aylmer Lookout. Head up that way. Yeah, we're only spending one night here. We stayed at 2 Jack Lakeside Campground last night. It's one of the most popular car camping sites here in Banff National Park. So there we go. This is the start of the trail officially. Trail board, map, everything like that there. Yeah. So, Lake Minnewanka, Stuart Canyon is going to be sort of the first main thing that we come across there. That's happening pretty quick. LM9, that's us, the campsite that we're going to be staying at, so 9 kilometers from here. Aylmer Lookout is 11.6. So as I said, we're going to have to go past that and then backtrack a little bit to get to it. Yeah, Aylmer Pass. 13.2. So we can for sure cover the distance to get to Aylmer Pass. It's just a question of whether it's going to be snow covered still. There's an advisory on the park website saying that it's still not recommended to go through there because there's enough snow on Mount Aylmer that there's still a bit of an avalanche risk. So we're going to see. We'll play it by ear. I'm not going to do anything stupid like we did last weekend. I'll have some stories about that as we go along here. We went and tried a backpack camp last weekend. Did some backcountry, and we pushed ourselves a little bit harder than we probably should have. Yeah, so it was definitely an adventure. I got a little bit of footage of it, but not a lot, so I don't think I'm going to bother putting together a video for it. We'll see. If people really want to see it, maybe I will. All right. Well, yeah, you can just see the lake in behind us. It's a very nice, well-trodden, very easy hike that we're doing around the back of the lake here. It's pretty much flat, very minimal elevation change. But we do get to walk around Lake Minnewanka, which is the biggest lake in Banff National Park. Yeah, so Minnewanka is it's based off Stoney First Nations word. That means Lake of the Spirits. Named because, well, they believe that spirits dwelled in this lake. Also, there's a legend of half human, half fish type creatures that have the ability to control the wind and the waves at will. So it was a very ominous place to Stoney peoples. They tried to, they were known to avoid actually crossing the lake by boat. So, early European settlers named the lake Devil's Lake. So, I think the prevailing theory is that just got duck under a log here. The prevailing theory is that it's because of the intense and sudden gales of wind that would come ripping across this lake, sort of at random. So, yeah. Just have a look at the lake. So, yeah, we're in for a pretty amazing little trip here. I'll check back in when we hit Stuart Canyon here in a few minutes. Alright, so we're coming up to the bridge that crosses the Cascade River across Stuart Canyon is sort of the name of this little area here. So the Cascade is one of the main bodies of water that's feeding Lake Minnewanka, and it's going through Stuart Canyon, which is what we're walking across right now, which is named after George Stuart, who was the first superintendent of Banff National Park. You can see the outlet there where it flows into the lake. Yeah. So I'm not sure when they built this bridge for getting across, but it's quite nice. It gives you a nice view going both ways. Yeah. So I mentioned before that the Stoney peoples used to live in this area. We're just crossing over to the east side of Stuart Canyon right now, and kind of down there a little closer to the water. There was actually an archaeological site where archaeologists found spear tips that dated back to almost 11,000 years ago. So there were people living here as far back as at least 11,000 years ago. What'd you find, Danny?
The area is closed for park resource management purposes. That's specific.
Yeah. So, let's get you nice and close here. That's where we started. We're running up the trail here. We just crossed over right there. So the trail's going to go up and down. So this closure is not going to affect us at all. It's down in this area, which is called Sheep Point, which is kind of down where that archaeological site I was just talking about is. So nothing that's going to concern us. But, yeah. So this is what the trails look like so far. Very nice. Well maintained. This is one of the most popular hiking trails in Banff National Park. It's super easy to access. It's very well maintained. It's not very challenging. So there'll be a lot of people out here today.
People with kids.
Yeah, people will be out hiking, mountain biking along here. Mountain biking's allowed up until you get to the turnoff for Aylmer Lookout. I'm not sure if you can keep going past that all the way around the lake, but I know you're not allowed to take bikes up towards Aylmer Lookout. So people who want to do this hike in a day, a lot of them up to the Aylmer Lookout and Aylmer Pass, a lot of people will actually bike to that trailhead so they can get there very quickly and easily, ditch the bikes, and then start heading back, or start walking from there. And then makes for a nice easy ride out afterwards. Yeah.
It'd be fun if you like to bike.
Yeah. Yeah, mountain biking, not something that we're into, but this is like, for those that do enjoy it, man. There's some pretty amazing terrain in Alberta, in the Rockies here, so very popular pastime. If you see our Prairie View hike, which is our first sort of day hike of the season this year, there's a video up for it. There was just a ton of people out mountain biking on that trail that day, so oh. So we found another important bit of information here as we're going along. So as I said, it's the third weekend of May right now, so this doesn't really apply to us right now, but it's important later on. So July 10th to September 15th, the area that we're entering right now, we are there. All of this red area, including
where we're going to camp.
Yep, that's our campsite where we're going to be staying, LM9. All of that red area is they limit. It's a seasonal trail restriction because of just the huge number of bears in the area, especially these guys, grizzlies. So yeah, as I said, we're here. We're going to come along the trail. LM8 is where the turnoff is to go up to the lookout, so that's where we're going today. And LM9 is where we're going to be camping. LM8 is actually closed during this trail restriction time because I guess this pass here is, or the pass in the area up to the lookout is just grizzly bear central. They like this nice open path going down to the water and back up to eat berries and such. So they limit how you can access this area from July 10th until September 15th. And pretty much the limits are you need to travel in a group of at least 4 people, and you need to carry bear spray at all times. So So the area we're walking through right now is one of a handful of areas along this trail where park staff performed a controlled burn to clear out some of the deadfall and underbrush. Not sure exactly when it happened. There's a couple of different burns in this area, late 80s, early 90s, early 2000s. But you can see, and behind me there, lots of little young saplings starting to grow in. This wasn't something that was done in the national parks until the 80s. It sort of in the 1980s there was sort of a drastic change in perspective and policy on how to approach forest fires in the national parks. So in the 60s and 70s, they fought every fire tooth and nail. I read somewhere that approximately only 6 square kilometers of national park land was burned in the entire 2 decades of the 1960s and 1970s. It's just astounding when you think about it. The problem with that is that deadfall, underbrush, they accumulate, making it very, very difficult for animals to get through, making it accumulating a lot of wood that will burn very fast and very hot. So if a fire does start naturally, it has the potential to get very out of control. So the best example of that is Yellowstone National Park down in the States. In, I think it was 1988, fire raged for the entire summer, essentially. Burned up 36% of the park. Something around 3,000 square kilometers, 3,500 square kilometers, something like that. Just an absurd amount. Really sort of threatened to change the whole nature of Yellowstone National Park. So obviously we don't want something like that happening here in Canada. So in the 80s they switched to doing prescribed burns, controlled burns, and to sort of let natural fires burn under control, like not to try to keep them from getting out of hand, but if a natural fire starts, just sort of letting it run its course. There's a pretty large one last year down in Banff and the Bighorn backcountry. Burned up, I want to say about 60 square kilometers of land. You'll probably get to see that area pretty in another video coming up shortly, because we're going to be traveling down through that area. So yeah, for those nature lovers out there who think that forest fires or that the prescribed burn program are a bad idea, you should know that the best time to actually see wildlife is probably 2 or 3 years after a burn happens, and you get some of this. You get the animals are able to get access to areas again, and sort of opens up a lot of new avenues for them. So yeah, there's sort of this very stark contrast between sort of the old growth forest we were walking through and these sort of spindly, burned out trees with the little saplings in between. So and it's pretty cool. So as I said, they did that a few different times in this area. So yeah. So we've gained a little bit of elevation. We're walking along a ridge kind of up above the lake. I think we're going to be dipping back down to get a little closer to the lakeshore pretty soon here. So yeah, thanks for some nice views in behind us of the mountains across the way. Alright, so just a quick look at where we've got to so far. It's the trail we just came up. Looking down across the way at the mountains. Down through there, it's kind of where we started. It's the road coming in to the picnic area there where we parked, the Daters area. There's a boat launch down there. You can see down there, there's a powerboat out on a lake in the national parks. I'm pretty sure this is the only lake where you're ever going to see that. It's the biggest lake in the national parks, and I believe it's the only one that they allow the use of powerboats on. So you can see kind of what we're in store for this next day or so. All right, well, we're gonna keep on hiking and show you some more pictures as we get a little further on. All right, here's a better idea of just how big Lake Minnewanka actually is. That's not even the end of it down there. It keeps going around the bend. Yeah, it's a pretty huge body of water. I mentioned before that indigenous peoples populated this area as far back as 11,000 years ago, at least. This lake was definitely not that size back then. If you see down there, you can kind of see the dam that's actually forming this lake as it stands today. Alright, we made it to our new home for tonight. So we're at LM9, Lake Minnewanka 9, backcountry campground. There's one group of people over there. Looks like they were the only people here last night. I was just chatting with them a little bit. So they had the whole place to themselves last night. They're so we're right there. They're up in these sites here. This is us, I think. That's right down there. It's closest to the water. It's off by itself, so I think that's where we're going to set up. There's a couple more back here that are available, but we just need a space that's big enough for our tent and our hammock. So we're just going to set up there. You can see on the map there, outhouse, bear pole, and the trail running through, heading towards the three Goat Lakes and Devil's Gap, which is sort of the exit on the other end of Lake Minnewanka. So, take you down, show you where we're setting up tonight. Danny just went to track us down some water. Figure there's a stream running down into the lake there that we should be able to pull out of. If not, we can just pull out of the lake, no problem. So yeah, this is going to be home for tonight. Not the flattest, smoothest of all the camp spots, but it's got enough space there to throw up a tent. It's got some nice big trees, so we're going to string up the hammock so we can sort of chill out and relax and drink some wine later on, I think. You might be able to hear the waves crashing down at Lake Minnewanka there. Show you sort of the view just down the way here. There we go. How's that for lakefront property? It's gonna be pretty sick staying here tonight. And yeah, it's especially gonna be cool to see the sun coming up tomorrow morning, I think, over the mountains here. Awesome. Yeah, so anyways, we've been hiking for a little over 2 hours, 2 hours, 20 minutes, something like that. Covered about 10 kilometers probably from the car. I can't give you exact numbers because I'm a goof and I forgot my GPS at home. So no GPS data for this particular adventure. That's okay though. It's pretty straightforward, and it's very well marked in the guidebooks and everything. We do have a map if we do need to do any real navigation, but I really don't see it happening because this is such a popular trail. Anyways, We are starving, we are thirsty, and we've got a lot of work to do, so we're going to get cracking with the setup. Alright, see ya. Alright, back on the trail. So we stopped at our campsite, LM9. We set up camp. We had a wonderful lunch of peanut butter and jam sandwiches and beef jerky. Chugged a bunch of water and started making our way back to get to the lookout. So we just passed LM8. The campsite is about 1 kilometer back from where we were, which is also the Aylmer Lookout Junction. So we're just starting up onto the vertical to get up towards Aylmer Pass and Aylmer Lookout. We're thinking we're probably not going to go to the pass because it's about 3 o'clock already. But we're definitely going to hit up the lookout, get some good shots. I guess the best views are from the lookout anyways. The pass is not quite as beautiful. So, I mean, we'll see what we're feeling like when we get up there. Maybe we'll change it up.
Hello.
Hi there.
Nice up there?
So, still cooking hot. We're probably sitting, what, I think, like 23, 24 degrees right now?
I was thinking more than that. 25.
Yeah, so pretty warm, and starting to hit the vertical is nice. But the nice thing about going to our campsite first, we were able to dump our packs. So we just threw on the little Sea to Summit super light Ultra Silk day packs. So it makes it a little bit less strenuous.
Yeah, it's the second one.
You can see we're already getting up a little bit, looking down at the lake behind me there. Yeah. Anyways, I'll shoot some more video when we get up to the top. The trail is really busy right now. All the day hikers who went up there earlier are on their way down, so we're bumping into a lot of people. So I'm gonna shut off filming for now. Show you what's what when we get up to the lookout. All right, that's it. The end is in sight. You can see Lake Minnewanka way down there below me. I've got another 300 meters. Well, it's like another 50 meters of elevation or so to go. And I'll be up at the very top of this sucker. Get to show you guys what it looks like from the very top of Aylmer Lookout. Oh man, it has been tough slogging. It's just you guys and me right now. Danny felt a little bit worse for wear from the heat after probably about 2.5 kilometers of uphill slogging in the sun. So she turned around. I'm stubborn, so I decided to go solo. Make it up to the very top there. Gotta say, I do wish I brought a little bit more water though. Brought about 1 liter. Not quite cutting it. I've already been through about 2/3 of it, so I'm really looking forward to getting back down, jump in the lake, cool off, and drink a whole bunch of water so I can get rehydrated. I don't think I'm like dangerously warm right now, but I'm not feeling super awesome either. I feel pretty drained. So yeah, I'm gonna get to the top, do a quick video to show you guys the full view, have a snack, and I'll be heading back down. Definitely feel like I earned my dinner tonight. Danny's making a shepherd's pie. Should be pretty awesome. Alright, well, see you guys at the top. Alright, so you saw the view there from the top. That was the site of the old Aylmer fire lookout tower. So, as I said, with the change in policy on forest fires, a lot of those fire lookout towers kind of became obsolete. So they pulled it out of there, I think, in the mid 80s. Yeah, so now it's just a spot to go up and see some phenomenal views. It's pretty amazing that it's at about 2,000 meters of elevation. There's obviously no snow on it at all. And you saw the view looking down over Minnewanka and all the mountain ranges around. So it's pretty amazing. It's one of the few places you can get up into that kind of elevation and see those kind of views this early in the season. So I feel totally privileged to have been able to go up there and check that out. And I'm glad you guys came along with me for the ride. I'm heading back down to camp now. I'm not going to film much just because Danny did go back on her own, and she'll probably be worrying about me if I take too long. So I'm just going to kind of fly down there as fast as I can, as fast as I can safely. I don't want to break an ankle or anything on the way down. I feel like that might ruin my day. Yeah, so I'll shoot a little bit more video when we get back down to camp. Just show the campsites and things like that. Give a little trip recap, etc. Yeah, it's such a great day. I'm so glad that I came out this way. So we're back at camp. What a great day. It's about 6:30 at night right now. The sun's still pretty high in the sky, so we're trying to enjoy it while we can. We're down on the beach, just watching the waves here on Lake Minnewanka. Danny's taking some pictures over there. Got a little flask full of bourbon going. Yeah, so this is where we are at. So straight across there is Mount Inglis Maldi. Inglis Maldi? Yeah, Inglis Maldi must be. Ridge of mountains going across here. You can see sort of along the lake there. This is what heads towards the three ghost lakes down at that end. And Devil's Gap as sort of like the other entrance to this area. How was the rest of your day?
It's good.
Yeah?
Just got to relax and hang out at the camp and lay in the hammock.
How are you liking that hammock?
It's delightful.
Got a new piece of gear. First time trying it out today. It's a Thermarest Slacker hammock.
Definitely worth the investment. Definitely worth the carrying of the weight.
Yeah, it's not very much. It's what, 1.5 pounds or something like that with the suspension and everything. So it's it's pretty minimal investment, and it's nice to have a place to take siestas and to sit. And we'll probably be sitting there drinking some vino later on once the sun starts to set down a little bit. But we've got a little while of actual sunshine, so we're going to sit here on the beach and enjoy it while we can.
Oh, summer in Alberta and their endless daylight.
Yeah, the sun does stay up pretty late. It's like the third week of May right now, so.
And it's 6:30 right now.
6:30. Looks like we have, solid
3 hours probably.
You think that long of actual sunset? Because the sun's gonna dip below that ridge over there probably an hour and a half, 2 hours from now, I would say.
About 2 hours.
So yeah, we're gonna have to go up to camp and do some dinner and whatnot. Yeah. So
Homemade shepherd's pie and dehydrated.
Homemade shepherd's pie. We'll show you that when we get that going.
Hopefully it doesn't suck.
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna be delicious. We had it once before.
Yeah, we did, and it was delicious.
It was delicious. So I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, Lake Minnewanka. What an amazing trip. I just wish we could stay here longer, honestly.
Let's just skip work on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
Would that I could. Work on Wednesday. Fine.
Would that I could. Yeah. So a little bit more history on the lake. I mentioned before that it's a hydroelectric dam down at this end. That's sort of brought the water level up so high. It's been dammed a couple of times, actually. Originally, there was a log hotel. I think it was 1888 that was built, 1886, somewhere around there. So yeah, this area actually started as kind of a small little resort area. So it started with the hotel, and then by 1912 it kind of developed into a small town called Minnewanka Landing. They ran ferries and boat tours and things like that of the lake up and down. And by 1912 there was already a dam in place. They just did it to sort of improve the coast a little bit, so it wasn't so boggy, so that the boats could have access. And actually, they might have started in 1912. They might have had it providing hydroelectric power as well. Can't remember exactly. I did read a little bit of history on it before we came here because I wanted to try to sound smart. Obviously, that's not working out so well.
You're always smart.
Yeah, I do know though. In 1941, it's when they built the big dam, the one that we sort of came in across. And when they did that, the water level actually rose up so high that it engulfed Minnewanka Landing. So there's the remains of a village somewhere underneath this lake. Apparently scuba divers love going down there, and they can see there's not much there. There's some like pump handles for wells and some foundations and things like that, like pier and things like that. So yeah, anyways, a little bit of history. Morning. It's about 7:30, so we're still kind of bundled up in our sleeping bags. By like 3 or 4 degrees out there right now. It's not super warm.
It's sunny.
It's cozy. It's cozy in these sleeping bags. Really trying to fight the urge to get up and use the bathroom. But I wanted to show you guys something. How would you like to wake up to that every morning? Sun's just starting to creep up in the sky over there, come up above those mountains, hopefully pretty soon, because I want to go sit down on the beach and have coffee and breakfast in the sunlight. But looks like it might be a little while before we get that. This has seriously been one of the best camp spots I think we've had in all of our adventures. So Lake Minnewanka, definitely recommended to everybody. Hey, what's up, guys? All right, so we're back in the car. We're heading to Canmore to go get some lunch. Man, it is just exhausting being out in this heat. We're not used to this, like this early in the season especially. So yeah, it was a pretty amazing trip though. Lake Minnewanka, unbelievable. One of the most beautiful campsites I've ever stayed at for sure. So we covered a total of about 27 kilometers. So 18 or so yesterday, 9.5 today getting back to the car. Unfortunately, I did forget the GPS, so I can't give you a more precise number with elevation and all that stuff, but definitely
I'll tell you that it was hot.
Yeah. I think the heat definitely made it feel a little bit harder than it actually was. The trail's pretty simple, pretty well maintained. Sorry, we're in the parking lot and people are doing goofy stuff.
Go around,
okay.
buddy, or pull over or something.
Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna sign off now. Lake Minnewanka is awesome. Seriously, if you're looking for something, you want like a nice introduction to backcountry, you want, honestly, even if you're a seasoned vet, it's just one of the best little 2-day backpacks that I've done, and yeah, it's just super accessible and really nice. So we definitely have to come back sometime so we can hit up Aylmer Pass. So yeah, I guess look for a video on that in the future.
I'm going left. I'm going the wrong way.
Looks like they both lead to Banff somehow.
I know this way goes. Where we came in.
All right, well, goodbye, guys, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. We got another trip coming up in a couple of weeks, so there'll be another video coming up shortly.